Guys, it's time to put a fork in Marathon and Bungie as a whole because they're absolutely cooked. So Bungie, the studio behind Halo and Destiny, is in hot water again over allegations of stealing artwork for their upcoming game Marathon. This comes as an X/Twitter user named Antireal put forward a claim that the Marathon team stole her artwork dating back all the way to 2017 and used it for the game's art style. If you take a closer look at the game's art and hers, it's so blatantly obvious that they didn't copy her artwork, they straight up just stole it in my opinion. Take a closer look at these images side by side. You literally have her art copy and pasted into the game. Look at these symbols on her art piece versus the ones in the art for Marathon. It's the same design, and there are multiple photos of Bungie stealing her artwork. There are even employees from Bungie to follow her on X. Antireal took to X to talk more about the theft, saying, "Bungie is of course not obligated to hire me when making a game that draws overwhelmingly from the same design language I refined for the last decade. But clearly my work was good enough to plage for ideas and plaster all over the game without pay or attribution. I don't have the resources nor the energy to spare to pursue this legally, but I have lost count of the number of times a major company has deemed it easier to pay a designer to imitate or steal my work than write me an email. In 10 years, I've never made a consistent income from this work, and I'm tired of designers from huge companies mood boarding and parasiting my design while I struggle to make a living." She needs to immediately seek out a lawyer and explain this whole situation to them. She has an incredible case here. Any lawyer would be chomping at the bit for a case like this. Anybody can see that it's blatant theft, and I think would be very easy to prove in a court of law. A lawyer who specializes in this type of field may even take the case pro bono and just get paid after the lawsuit is settled. I know there's a 0% chance she actually sees this video, but if you do not, I repeat, do not talk to Bungie, because anything you can say and will be used against you in a court of law. They'll probably offer like $50,000 to settle, but if you get a good lawyer, you're looking at making millions, especially when the game comes out, because you can put a monetary value on the theft and your pain and suffering. Please do this. Also, I gotta say this for legal reasons. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just giving you my advice. But Bungie has responded to the allegations by taking to X and, like little cowards, talking about it from an alt account for Marathon called the Marathon Dev Team. They were too embarrassed to use the official X Marathon account to address it. Anyways, the Marathon Dev Team said, "We immediately investigated a concern regarding unauthorized use of artist decals in Marathon and confirmed that a former Bungie artist included these in a texture sheet that was ultimately used in-game. This issue was unknown by our existing art team, and we are still reviewing how this oversight occurred. We take matters like this very seriously. We have reached out to Antireal, discussed the issue, and are committed to do right by the artist. To prevent similar issues in the future, we're conducting a thorough review of our in-game assets, specifically those done by former Bungie artists, and are implementing a stricter check to document all artist contributions. We value the creativity and dedication of all artists who contribute to our games, and we're committed to doing right by them. Thank you for bringing this to our attention." Now, Bungie is blaming one person for all this. They say an employee who used to work for the company is responsible for all this. But let's not forget, this isn't the only time Bungie was caught stealing other people's art. They got caught stealing art for Destiny 2's Lightfall expansion, as well as other instances of plagiarism. Was all this done by one person, or is Bungie filled with a bunch of useless, untalented people? I think it's the latter. This has been a total nightmare purchase for PlayStation. They need to hire someone to go into that studio and fire every useless person there. Bungie is another studio that is too focused on hiring based on race, gender, and sexual orientation, aka DEI hires, instead of actually hiring based on talent. Over the last few years, it has shown big time, and they are located in Seattle, which is also a very expensive city to operate in. Not good for PlayStation's budget. PlayStation bought the studio hoping to get 3 live service banger games out of it, but Destiny is all but dead. Marathon's already DOA, and they're apparently working on another live service game that will most likely never see the light of day. This will go down as one of the worst PlayStation deals in history. I get a feeling after Marathon fails, they're gonna gut this studio even more. I think they had something like 1,600 employees before the PlayStation sale, and when PlayStation came in and laid off a bunch of people, they're down to like 800 employees now. And when Marathon fails, they'll be laying off even more and possibly shutting down the company altogether and moving some of the talented devs in-house. We already saw some of the actual talented devs leave the company, like Mark Noseworthy and Luke Smith, who are in charge of Destiny 2 and the Taken King, which is the best Destiny expansion and my personal favorite. Damn, is that King Fall raid S tier. The best days at Bungie are behind it. If PlayStation's smart, it would focus all its resources on making Destiny 3. I think it's the best way to recoup some of the money they invested in this company. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and consider subscribing as well for more gaming content. Until next time, guys, take care. Bye.